Today I'm gonna show you two makeup looks. One is more natural for this clean girl vibe, and the other one is more for a baddie. So let's go! Okay, so for the first look I'm not gonna use many products. I like to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm gonna do concealer, and it's this Catrice one because I'm not using any concealer besides that. So I'm gonna let the concealer marinate under my eyes, and I am gonna put concealer on my pimples. So wherever I have some imperfection I want to cover. Now I'm gonna blend the concealer. For concealer I like to use this Dermaco, the gold one. And for the huge ones I like to use this Art Deco. And I have two, well, I have two of them. The one is more skin color and this one is the green one. And this concealer I swear by because it's literally gonna cover everything, and it's waterproof and sweat proof or something like that. So yeah, this one is my holy grail when covering those big ass pimples. Okay, so now I'm gonna blend the concealer. Hi! Now I'm gonna blend it with the brush so it's seamless. And if you are blending your concealers and the more pimples are showing, you know, just simply add more concealer, and that's it. Now when everything is blended, I am gonna use a powder. What a big word to forget, right? So I am using this powder, and I'm gonna use a makeup puff to set everything in place. Wherever I put the concealer, I am gonna use a powder to lock it. But to be quite honest with you, when I was in high school I had extremely oily skin, so I was using baby powder as my powder because it was cheap. I was using it a ton, you know, and I feel like it did its thing, you know. But we all know what baby powder is known for, so be aware of that. And now when my face is done, I am using a bronzer on my cheeks, on my temples, and on the tip of my nose as a contour. And to be quite honest with you, I remember when I was in high school, my makeup was atrocious. I had extremely acne prone skin, and I had pimples ever since I was like 13 to like 23 or something like that. So almost 10 years. And then what's left on the brush I'm gonna use as a eyeshadow, like that, you see. And then I'm gonna blend that even more. Did I went overboard with that? If you feel like you went overboard, you just use the makeup puff from the earlier. And yeah, now I am using a blush. Maybe if I use the smaller burr. Okay, now when we have the blush, bronzer, I'm gonna do my brows. And when your brows is done and you feel like there is a few little sparse spots, you can always use the pencil for your brows so it looks full, but don't overdo it because you're gonna end up with a blocky brows. And we are going for the natural no makeup look. Okay, now when the brows are done, I am gonna do my lashes. I am always curling my lashes. I can go without that, so that's that. And you know what, this can be like the whole look. This can be like the finished makeup look. Maybe the lips, of course, but speaking of the lips, I'm gonna do lips, and I'm gonna use this Essence tint, just a little. This can be like your whole finished makeup look, like that. But I feel like like doing lashes, so I'm gonna put the mascara, but I'm gonna use a brown one, you know, for the natural look. Okay, and now when my mascara is on, I'm gonna wait till this kind of, you know, dries on my lips, and I'm gonna use a spoolie to brush it off. But I just, you know, remember that I didn't finish my story of how I did my makeup when I was in high school. So I had extremely acne prone skin, so I was covered in huge pimples, and the only thing I was using, I'm not kidding, I put this concealer, this Dermacol cover, on my whole face. I used the slightest powder and I had extremely oily skin, so I didn't even finish my whole makeup and it was already melted from my face, so that was that. And I didn't use any blush, any bronzer, because back then it wasn't a thing. And I didn't do even my brows, and I remember I only put the foundation on my face, mascara, and I did a huge eyeliner, and that was like it. Okay, and now when my mascara is dry, I'm gonna use a spoolie to blend it. Look how easy it's going away. Oh. Okay, so now this is my like finished makeup natural look. If you want, you can add more freckles. You can do like a colored mascara, like a blue one on your bottom lashes. Oh, I'm lying, I forget one step, my most precious step, and it's using this. Can you see that inner eye bright by Essence? And I'm gonna do that for my waterline. I love doing this step. What was I talking about? Yeah, you can use the colored mascara, or what I like to do is I have this glittery sky high one, and I'm gonna do that on my bottom lashes, so when I blink it gives me these sparklers. Okay, so this is my finished makeup look for my natural face. As you can see, I didn't use much products. I'm looking fresh, put together, imperfections are covered, but I'm still looking like I have no makeup on. Duh. And now let's go to the other makeup look, bitch. For the Baddie makeup look, I'm gonna use more bronzer. And this can be also quick transformation, because as I mentioned that you already have everything on your face, so I like to use the darker blush, this one. Now I'm gonna use a powder, and I'm gonna also do that as a contour on my nose, as you can see, like that. And I'm gonna make my under eyes brighter. And I'm also gonna cut. Ooh. Where is my headband? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna cut that. But also you have to keep in mind that it is still school, and I see that some schools are not allowed wearing any makeup. Now I'm gonna do a quick eyeshadow. You know, the natural ones. I'm gonna do this color just into my crease. Okay. And also underneath my eyes. Like that. I am gonna put eyeshadow only on my end eye, what's this called? And also the lower lash line only halfway, not through the whole bottom lashes. And you can also flick it so it creates the makeup. Okay, and now when the eyeshadow is done, I'm gonna use this shade to do an eyeliner. As you can see, I already started. You can also use the pencil eyeliner, the liquid one, whatever you want, but I feel that for the school, you know, we are still in school, we don't want to have like the full beat on. Oh, and also when you want, who cares, right, if your school allows that. This would be my kind of taste if I went to school, so, but you know, but whatever you're gonna use, it stands that I am gonna do eyeliner. Yeah. Now when my eyeliner is done, I'm gonna use falsies. Yeah, I love falsies. I am addicted to falsies. Once I have been wearing falsies, not kidding, every day for 2 years straight. You know, my lashes were looking like that, but we're not gonna talk about that. Now I kinda stopped wearing any makeup, so my lashes got pretty long, but you know, I can't resist a good lash. I love when I'm getting lashed. The fuck? The hell? So I am putting glue on my lashes, and now thinking about that, there is a big chance that when I put my lashes on, my eyeliner is gonna disappear. But we're gonna see. And in the meantime, my lashes are drying. What I like to do is put a small amount, not a small, you know, that kind of amount on my brush, and I like to do this on my inner corner like that, and on the, yeah, like that, so the lashes have something so they can stick on. But don't glue your, as you can see, don't glue your lids, because it's gonna last throughout your whole day, and trust me, I am speaking from my own experience. And now I'm gonna stick the lashes on. Oh my god, I love lashes so much. And now, you know what I'm thinking? I maybe should have used the brown ones, so I'm looking more natural, but too late. Now I'm gonna do the lips, but I'm gonna still use a lip tints, but I am gonna use the darker one as my lip liner. Okay, like that. I'm gonna blend my finger. And now I'm gonna use the lip tint that I used previously. Now when we are finished, there is this slightest last step, which might be unnecessary, but it can add a little bit of spice. You can use this inner eye bright, you know, for your waterline, the nude one. You can do the brown one, or you can maybe use a bit of color. Oh, when I want to feel like the baddest baddie in the whole world, I am using a brown one. So today I'm gonna show you the brown one, and I'm gonna put it into the one eye so you can see. You know, using the brown one isn't as harsh as the black, so it can be perfect for the school where you don't want. Okay, and now I'm gonna move closer, a slight test so you can see the difference. So it's totally up to you, because you know, sometimes I feel that the dark waterline is too much for me, so you can always use this one, and I love this one. I have like, this is like my fourth one, and I love this. But because today I am thinking about someone that is not into my life anymore, I'm gonna do the dark one because I want to feel. Okay, so this is my finished makeup look for the baddie. As you can see, you know, it might be too much in some ways for school, but you know, there are those days when you want to feel, you know, because this to me is like the, what's it called, intimidating makeup. So as I mentioned earlier, you can use this for day to night, you know, so this can be your night makeup look. You can change the lippy for the red, for example, or the nude if you are like that. So yeah. Okay, bitch, so now I'm gonna go for the lunch with my mom. You are gonna tell me in the comments which look do you prefer more, if this one or the previous one. And I'm gonna see you at our next video, and don't forget to have a great day. Bye!